This is Weird Renegade Witches blog. Hit us up when you want some real motherfucking work done. You already know, go to waywardrenegadewitchesblog.com. And you already know that Wayward is about that revenge, redemption, responsibility, that spell work, because art is occultism. Occultism is a motherfucking art. However, you already know I do the one-on-one lessons where I work with people very closely, which incorporates spell work. But this month, I didn't do the one-on-one monthly lessons. I'm going to start that again next month. I need to put on my Halloween raven wig and FreakyTales energy. So I'm just going to name this shit FreakyTales because I need to come with some FreakyTales shit. And everything that I'm going to read and talk about is some freaky tales. And I have fucking questions, right? So I'm going to start it off with these men who are basically under the book of Timothy. I'm going to read you some energies, and this is what you women are under, and be chasing these type of dudes who are underneath Timothy, who are putting up blind items on these apps. Let me read you some frequencies. I had to start it off with some freaky tales for you for this Halloween day. Giving you good head, nut and piss on me. Sup y'all, attractive 30-year-old black male. I'm a clean freak and looking for, I don't know, what is this? An SCK on you. And I want to get pissed on. LMA, BTTM. I host PG County. You with it? Details, 30 years old. College Park, looking for a 25 to 80-year-old man. Thirty-six-year-old married, seeking for fun. Timothy, 36-year-old married white, not looking for a random hookup. Just tired of being ignored at home, so he needs some dick. Hoping to find someone who is also being unhappy at home and would like to have some discreet, passionate encounters. We both need pleasure and will enjoy will enjoy it. I'm looking for a guy to show me what it's like to be young again now. The more kinkier, the better man. I don't know, only kill me. And then it says Daisy Young, thanks. Details, 36-year-old in Washington, D.C., looking for a 23 to 77-year-old. You know, I told you black women, till further notice, put that black man on the shelf until we get it right. It sound like to me, I had seen it in my comments, the woman said, hey, I'm not black, but all these men need to be put on the shelf. You know what? She is absolutely right. White men need to be put on the shelf. Filipino men for sure need to be put on the shelf because they asses be getting down with the get down. Asian men, Chinese men, they be having interesting things up in their booty holes and doing all type of interesting shit and go back home and be married. And we not going to even talk about the Mexicans, and for sure we not going to talk about them Puerto Ricans because we know what the fuck they do. All them motherfuckers need to be put on the shelf. And we for sure not going to talk about, as they call, South Indians and East Indians. Put their asses all on the shelf. Just put them on the shelf. Shit. They stranger danger. Let's go further. Young fat butt looking. Young fat butt looking for BBC to pound me on regular basis, must send pic, reply with dick pic, or I won't answer. Then it says kick, big booty, sturdy, 22, or email. Details: 26-year-old in downtown, looking for 18 to 50-year-olds. Hairy top, looking to lick hairy butt. Under Timothy. 40-year-old hairy top, looking to give a long, deep, mind-blowing butt licking to a WM/LM/M Mid-East TM with a hairy butt. Lord have mercy, Jesus, in the name of Jesus Christ. BG included, topping included upon request, DDF and HIV negative, UB2, very easygoing, discreet guy here. Age 48 years old in look like Northwest AU with parking, looking for an 18 to 50-year-old. Come use my hole. We just talking FreakyTales, right? I'm in the mood to have my hole used hard and under the energies of Timothy. Door open, me upstairs ready to take it. Cock toys, fists, all of the above. 48 years old. Capital motherfucking Hill, bitch. Age 23 to 65. Is it Biden? Is it Biden? Allegedly, I'm just talking shit. What's the age? Shit. What the hell? Raunchy rim pig. Have my rim seat set up. You walk in, have a seat, get comfortable. I'll service you nice and deep. Like it natural, musty, even dirty. Good pig here. Send stats in first message for reply. No stats, no reply. I'm 53 years old. In Gallery Place. Looking for the age 21 through 60. FreakyTales. Tamar Braxton speaks out following her ex-junior, saying he broke things off with her. Just like you are outside, I am too. It's not like I'm addicted to white meat. And then isn't there something going on? That she started talking about eating behind. Okay. I seen a pic of Justin Bieber's baby. Who in the fuck does this kid belong to? Because this is not his kid. What Asian man then sat up and has sex? Who's this kid? Who? I'm confused. Have y'all seen his baby? We just talking FreakyTales, right? Because is it me or this kid doesn't? Okay. Do you know they out here selling bear paw meat? Okay. BART workers fired due to COVID vaccine mandate to get over 1.5 mil each. Federal jury decides. See, this is FreakyTales. Do you understand? For anybody to win, you have to go to federal court. You cannot do your local and state court because they are all in cahoots together. And this is where you win your motherfucking money. This is what I was talking about when I was talking about the lawsuit with the city and county of San Francisco. When me and what's her name was allegedly suing, we're gonna say. So anyway, we should have went through federal. This shit doesn't make sense. That means state, you don't sue. You sue federally. So that means under this energy, under federal, that means people need to be suing because people lost their jobs behind these vaccines and the mandates for these vaccines. I know somebody who was hired for a position, and then they were hired for a position in Los Angeles, and it was remote. And she said they hired her. Then 2 days later, they came back at her and asked her, "Hey, did you get your whoop wop vaccine?" And she said, "No, I have that religious I think it's that exemption or whatever." They told her that is no longer in the state of California and they don't accept that, and she has to get it or she will be terminated. And I was saying to her, I said, I learned the same motherfucking thing because I was trying to use the religious energy, and they came at me, and that motherfucking Gavin Newsom got rid of that shit. I said, what the fuck? I didn't even fucking know. So they terminated her. Do you know how many people were terminated behind this shit? And it's very suspicious, and it makes me think that it was all a game all along to terminate people from their long-time positions. Just like, what's that in Chicago? Didn't they close down the Pepsi plant and terminated every fucking body? And they came to work, didn't even know it was going to be closed, but they getting, I guess, paid all the way up to December, and I think their pensions. So what you going to do with a whole bunch of people who done lost their fucking jobs, and the way this economy is, you can barely find a job. It's like Aries. You don't know where to look, where to pull. And these people have these long-time jobs, and they made sure to get rid of them. City jobs, state jobs, didn't matter. They got rid of them. Office jobs, companies, this right here. But I'm a little confused why more people are not suing the government or whosoever for this type of shenanigans. For real. Nurses lost their jobs and nurses sued. So what the fuck are we missing? You know, freaky tales, right? Peter Fritzkin, who stored severed vaginas of 21 women in a freezer, appears in South Africa. They don't talk about those German Jews, do they? They don't talk about those Ukrainian Jews, do they? You know, the ones that was the ones that was part of the Nazi energy, and they ran to South Africa. They want to tell you about everybody else colonizing South Africa, but they don't want to tell you how those Germans and those Ukrainians who are really Germans ran their asses to South Africa to hide. He sure probably wasn't fucking around with them, what they call the Afrikaners. He was stored 21 vaginas. Makes you wonder what the fuck he was really doing. Have y'all looked at Tyler Perry's son? Didn't Tyler Perry say this is his biological son? Who's this kid? This is the same thing as Justin Bieber. Christina Milian popped out of nowhere. She was on TikTok pushing her new Christmas movie. What the fuck is going on that these entertainers are not advertising? Why are they even advertising? Why are they doing their own commercials? What the fuck are they doing on TikTok and on these social medias? Y'all don't think that's weird? Okay. Anyway, let's look at some other freaky tale shit. I'm going to speak very layman, okay? Very, very, very layman on this Halloween day. We're going to speak astrology and horoscopes. Most of you people in this universal soul believe in angel numbers. There's no motherfucking such thing. There's no goddamn angel numbers. You simpletons. You guys look at all this shit, and if somebody tells you, like, get the fuck up out of it, it's a goddamn problem, right? But you guys so busy looking at angel numbers, but what about death numbers? Okay? You know, under Timothy, because we still working in Timothy, right? In Timothy, they tell us to pray for our leaders. So let's just kind of look at some energies in reference to, we have election time coming over there on that 5th on Tuesday, correct? Yeah. So let's just kind of work ourselves all the way up until that day and see what the hell is going on. So allegedly, Kamala Harris numbers on Polymarket are currently tanking right now after the news broke of Tim Walz's Chinese connection. Now, remember, there's earth and then there's air. What they tell us on earth is different what they talk about on air, okay? Kamala Harris vice president choice Tim Walz has secret fling with daughter of top Chinese communist official during teaching stint in China. A lot of these politicians was taking their asses over there to China. I'm still confused of the freaky tales going on with the Korean president. First they said he was dead and he was on death watch. Now he's walking around. I'm confused about that. And I'm like, why would this tank? Why would this be an issue because he slept with a Chinese woman? What are we to understand about this? Freaky tales, right? Okay. Freaky tales. They've been talking a lot about Bruce Willis and allegedly of him having dementia. But here's my question. Have you guys really looked at Trump and his features? Have you noticed that he looks different and his skin is lighter, is not as orange? Do you notice his hair is thicker? Do you notice he look different? So one day they were talking about Bruce Willis, talking about how his features have changed due to his dementia and his health declining. And then something hit me. I said, did he get plastic surgery done? Because he's sure looking like Trump. I said, what is it for them to say that he's dying off and in reality he's still acting, but he's really Trump? And I used to do costume. I told you guys I used to do costuming, makeup at the FX, whatever you want to call it, and the new type of prosthetics and latex and super latex and all these new energies, especially the attachments and hair and all of that shit is looking real good. And if you working, and the bottom line is that if you working in air, you most definitely can get away with some energies, right? So if we say this is what's going on with Bruce Willis here, but in reality, he's really acting as Trump. You know, I'm crazy and shit, so just ignore me. You know, this is, you know, it's just what it is. This is a comedy skit, right? But we just talking freaky tales. So how about in reality, all this time, that's what's been going on. You guys, go look it up. Look at his features. Look at Trump. I don't know. I'm just talking. telling someone I intentionally followed Trump, and I intentionally followed his campaign. Before he was running, I would get a whole bunch of text notifications of donations, asking for donations. Out the blue, it's like the Trump energy does not exist, and they overrid Trump with Kamala Harris, and I keep getting Kamala Harris donations. It went from $5 to $10, now it's $40. My spiritual constituent says she's getting $5. On the internet, on emails, I used to get Trump. That's disappeared. I get Kamala Harris. What type of racial profiling is going on? That's fucking FreakyTales. How you know I'm black? Do you think the iPhone take pictures of me, then it goes into the universal soul, and it says she's black? I'm just asking questions. In Washington State, 3 ballot boxes caught on fire like the fucking burning bush. And I said, Washington State is Democrats. So if it's Democrats, then whose ballots were those? Then they said there's a digital way where you could keep track of your ballots. But my question is, what the hell happened? Who in the fuck firebombed all those goddamn ballots? Very symbolic in a democratic state, right? But something very interesting that hit me as I talked about death numbers. Tuesday is and will be a partial eclipse. At the same time, we have to get horoscope novelty, right? So let's look at some energies as we talk freaky tales. Tuesday, Mars, Aries. The shadow self of Kamala Harris, if she's a Libra, is in Aries. Her running mate is in Aries. Okay, so that's very masculine energy. So one will say, well, wouldn't Trump win? Well, no, because Trump is in feminine because of the energies that they're using and the energies of that day. So it will be considered masculine energy with the undertow of Jupiter, because they've been using this planet Jupiter for a fucking minute, right? So then we come over here, we have planets lining up on that day, which is funny enough, and which is going to remain through Tuesday or through next week, which is the lineup, which is on the lines of the eclipse, which will be, of course, Mars, Jupiter, Uranus, and Neptune. Those are some interesting energies right there, because then Mercury is going to be in the horizon, and Mercury is going to be considered the sun. Okay, as we talk horoscopes, as we say. But the underdog of the star will be in Taurus. Not in Taurus, but it is Taurus. See, we have to speak their language because they try to be above our pay grade, but they can't because they do horoscope work. So now you have superior masculine energy because Capricorn said, I ain't fucking with no Taurus. I ain't fucking with no Aries. Fuck y'all. I'm the hybrid. I'm up here. Y'all down there. Y'all can fuck around if you want to, because I'm not about to be caught up in that shit. Okay? However, so that's why that hoof is not there. So Taurus is there. So there's going to be some energy, there's going to be some warring going on, because then that Taurus represents who? It represents Trump and his vice president. Okay? 2 different energies, right? But then they all interloop with each other again. So then you like, shit, this is going to be real fucked up because death numbers are on the loose. And the death numbers that we see here keep calculating because then we have 11/5/2024. So when you look at the death energy, you like, what the fuck? Okay? Because right now they'll say, like today is Halloween, they'll say the new moon, da 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 da. Just say this is the new moon in their world, but really this is the black sun. Okay, so today is going to be this going to be a 3-day ritual, really 4-day ritual, but it's really 3 days because then now is the dead is going to uproot because then you got the Day of the Dead / Raven energy coming in, right? So they on some shit because then Saturn is orbiting. You know, the planets are orbiting. So if you got Jupiter and Saturn, it's just da in their world. Horoscope, right? We just talking freaky tales. So this election will be very interesting and people going to be pissed the fuck off in many levels because then it taps into Veterans Day. The calculations for Veterans Day, 11/11/2024. Veterans Day, Twin Towers, Christ-like death is the same energy, the same exact numbers over here on Election Day. So, damn, the numbers in Election Day, death, over here, death numbers, the veterans energy, death numbers, but it's the same exact calculations, right? However, something told me to go and look at Eric Garner and George Floyd. Eric Garner numbers are the same numbers, death numbers, and the same numbers that calculate for the election in addition to Veterans Day. Okay. But then when you do the numbers for the World Trade Center, it's the same numbers. Everything adds up to death numbers. So then I said, So then I went to George Floyd, and something was very suspicious and made me look at George Floyd because I looked at the documentary, and that documentary was very weird. So I looked at the police officer and I said, does he just play one on television? Because on the simple fact, I said, is he really a cop? Is this for real? What the fuck is this? All them cops look like Barney Rubble and Fred Flintstone. We don't know what the fuck is going on. And it's like, what the fuck? I'm like, it's very Abbott and Costello. It's just like Lucille Ball cutting up with Desi Arnaz type of shit. And then when you see his knee on his neck, I said, wait a minute, what the fuck is going on here? Because if he was, let's really look at it. If he had his knee on his neck, why was he able to move around and talk shit? Did we not see the variations of weight? Didn't George Floyd look bigger than him? What the fuck is going on? Did you notice the Asian cop was looking wandering? What is happening? Did we not peep that George Floyd mouth like he was foaming? Did we not understand that Eric Garner was connected to Dr. York? And both of their energies was connected to breath, but breath is connected to, what is it, the percentage of water and air? Air is considering what's going on in the universe. So it's basically a form of life force stealing. What's happening here? But again, these numbers match up. Death. We come over here. We go back to Queen Elizabeth, those numbers match to the death numbers. Remember, they was trying to steal her life force as she was dying to pass it and transfer it? Okay, allegedly. But then, Elon Musk recently stated that everything is going to be in the air. But then, if we go to Sonia Macy, the one that said, I rebuke. So why is it Sonia Macy and Breonna Taylor both got shot? And it's always a cop. Nobody is tripping. Like, this shit is weird. Like, when we see these murders of cops killing somebody, how come we never connect that those are ritual murders, insurance policy murders, connected to some kind of cult murders? We just talking. Because this election is coming up and these numbers are adding up. Everybody numbers is adding up. Okay. How come we didn't connect Breonna Taylor may have been what I call a Tubi chick. She dated a guy who sold dope. What the fuck was she doing? What the fuck happened? She kind of looked like one of them sorority girls. See, black people don't want to talk about this shit because it goes back to Carly Russell. See, when you go back to Carly Russell, they showed us 30,000 different type of Carly Russells. And none of it makes sense. None of the women made sense. And she was an alleged AKA. However, something stood out to me. Alabama. I recently talked about sorority girls prostituting, then being church hoes. Was this person they call Carly Russell, did she even exist? And if she did exist, was she an Alabama AKA hoe? What was happening here? What is this connection here? And how come the date that she did this alleged hoax matches to all of the death numbers to the election? AKA Kamala Harris is an AKA. Wait a minute, these numbers match up to them death numbers, and it matches up to the election day. So you telling me the election day numbers matches with Veterans Day numbers, that matches with Eric Garner numbers, which matches with George Floyd numbers? And they all calculate the same way, which includes Breonna Taylor numbers, which include Macy numbers. Okay, then we go to Carly Russell, and then they say she ended up getting probation, but they talking about that they gave her a fine. I think was it 700 or 7 mil? How much is it? You tell me. Okay. And then they ritualized and devalued this Carly person with the whole red Mercedes, niggas like Mercedes, granola bar, Cheez-Its, and toilet paper stealing. Okay, got you. So then it led into Nipsey Hussle. So then when you calculate Nipsey Hussle's energy and those numbers, it goes back to the election, George Floyd, Eric Garner, Breonna Taylor, Carly Russell. As I said, these are fucking recycled numbers. Do you understand? We had not a lot of us didn't even know who in the fuck Nipsey Hussle was in the Bay Area. Then we go back to Eric Holder. The guilty date matches all the numbers that I'm talking about. And how come when you looked at the video was choppy and grainy, and you really couldn't see what the fuck was going on? And how come Eric Holder always seemed out of it? Just like the cops, especially the one who had the knee on George Floyd. We just talking election shit because remember her Kamala Harris, the vice president, is connected to George Floyd. Remember Minnesota, right? Okay. They sentenced Eric Holder to 60 fucking years. High frequency numbers, huh? As we talk horoscope. What also is very freaky tales to me is Kim Kardashian. And Kim Kardashian, that family, because they have been uninvited to the Met Gala. How Kim Kardashian would like to represent the Menendez brothers, right? Because you know the state of California then gave her shit, knowing she couldn't pass that shit 20,000 times because her ass is dyslexic. You know, and that's a different type of energy right there, because a lot of dyslexics don't pass tests. Not that they stupid, they just don't pass tests. So it takes them a minute. So I said, we know she's dyslexic, right? Not dumb. I said dyslexic, allegedly. And then something hit me. Tory Lanez. I said, how come nobody is talking about, because somebody sent me something that Tory Lanez, I guess, wants to report, you know, his attorney and them for horribly representing them. And we all know that he didn't shoot Megan Thee Stallion, right? We know it. Come on now. Enough is enough with bullshit. Because it's Freaky Tales Day. We didn't ask questions when it came out that Tory Lanez and Kim Kardashian know each other, that the Kardashians know Tory Lanez, and the Kardashians been knowing Tory Lanez since he was a kid. And there's people talking about that Chris didn't really like him to come over too much. So I said, oh, so there's a connection with Tory Lanez and the Kardashians. And when he got sacrificed, they came up. Got you. Okay. But here's the thing what people were talking about. You know, we're just talking freaky tales. What is the connection with Tory Lanez being Jamaican and Kamala Harris being Jamaican? Allegedly. Matter of fact, how come we never looked at how they're propping up Candace Owens? Doesn't she look third world? Every time I see her, I'll be like, doesn't she kind of look like Rihanna to me? Her energy. Then I started thinking, I said, damn, 50 Cent, isn't he Jamaican? Alicia Keys, isn't she Jamaican? What is all the connection of these people? Freaky tales, right? Because we're not thinking. You wouldn't connect that back to this election. What's also very interesting, as we talk Alicia Keys, why are we not getting very much information about Swiss Beats and this fraud case that they're trying to say that he done stole 7 to 7.3 million? You know, the people, Alicia Keys and Swiss Beats, who they put up as, you know, to be curators and in the arts world, sound like been washing money, allegedly. What's happening? What's happening? How is this just swept under the carpet because you're so focused over here? But we don't have questions of different frauds popping up with these entertainer people. We're not asking questions of how they just putting them in positions that regular civilians were in, that worked hard and went to college. We're not asking questions of these honorary degrees so they could keep putting people in your positions. And there's no outrage. There's no federal lawsuits. There's no guidelines. Shouldn't people who get honorary degrees already have a bachelor's degree? And just not go back to school for fucking GEDs? Or just been in the industry for a long time? You guys talk about people being accountable. How come y'all not holding these colleges accountable that give these people honorary degrees? For them to get into your position, or give them jobs that you went to school and got your bachelor's, your master's, and your doctorate. I just have questions. Oh, because they want to make you get into fraternities and sororities. Then maybe you can have them. If that. I don't know. What you think? Because then I'm hearing they're creating a cult religion and communal society. They're creating an art world just for gay people. What the fuck? Because they have created a world and society that you don't have a lifestyle anymore, and you don't have a culture. Because a culture and lifestyle means you stand for something. Means you have a label for something. Means you have a culture with something. So what they did was disrupted your whole life with Pan, then pushed in the energies of Timothy. And then now they've created cult religions and communal behavior. What type of insurance shit is this? It made me think about, how come people not talk about Vincent Van Gogh and Michelangelo as fake as fuck? Why are we not tripping that they keep, whoever this is, whatever these entities are, keep painting over these paintings to basically get rid of the melanin and the real people who painted this art? They just tell you shit and you just believe it, huh? Right? As we talk freaky tales. Okay. Halloween, Raven, Day of the Dead. 1 Timothy, verse 1. In so many words, under Timothy's wisdom, you better not practice ancestral magic and believe in folkloric and proverb type of energy. Basically believing in the dead, right? Very feminine, very wisdom-like. So they say, you better not believe in that. But if you don't believe in it, then how are you guys going to break your generational curses? As you say, right? How are you going to have a culture, subculture, whatever it may be, if Timothy is saying don't believe anything like that? Okay. Well, I'm going to give some motherfucking shout outs to some church witches, or we're going to say Bible witches. I'm going to give a shout out to motherfucking Leah for being a fucking root worker. I'm going to give motherfucking shout out to Hagar for summoning demons, talking to Satan, and making a deal with the motherfucking devil. I'll give a shout out to fucking Sheba, who ganked the fuck out of King Solomon, and men can't stand Sheba. AKA Too Short calling her Saba the hair bobber. I give a shout out to Sarah, as she's a fucking hag sorcerer. She had Abraham doing all type of shit. This was your first woman who had you bitches out there doing polyamorous threesomes, selling vagina, pimping, and pandering. Yes, Sarah. And we forget Sarah and Elizabeth and Mary and Hagar made a deal with the devil to have the bomb-ass sons. The problem is with fucking Sarah, she tried to have Isaac sacrificed and perpetrating, talking about he was the first son. What we all know is Ishmael. But some of you simpletons will argue that that's okay because you're simple. We're going to give a shout out to fucking Jezebel for being a revolutionist and pretty and wearing makeup and said, fuck that shit. I'll kill myself first before I let anything else. If you want to kill me, fuck it. Very Timothy, isn't it? Very, very masculine, isn't it? Jealous motherfuckers. I give a shout out to Harlot and Scarlet. These bitches fucked shit up and brought down cities. I give a shout out to Endor, the sorceress, who summoned the fuck out some shit. I even give a shout out to Eve, to Eveline. How she sat up and had us all fucked up, and when she gave that fucking wisdom to man, knowing she should have kept that shit to herself. Now then we all had to go through childbirth and pain. But that's okay. We'll take it because we're strong, because through this energy, who else can bleed and not die but us? Who else can be close to death during childbirth but us? I give a shout out to motherfucking Lucy, aka Lucifer, aka Lilith, aka Hecate, aka Medusa, for all you hoes. It can't be. I give a shout out to Mary Magdalene, aka the energies, of Magdala, aka Adam backwards, aka how men try to say Mada, M-A-D-A, Adam backwards. It means arrogance, excessive pride, obscene, stubborn, mindless. Because this energy, the name backwards, is connected to Mary Magdalene. But a man told you she's arrogant, she's excessive, she's prideful, she's obscene, she's stubborn, she thinks about herself. Then somebody said, but what about the Adam's apple? Apples were not invented before Christ. It was actually a fig tree. He ate a fig. Oh, and a shout out to fucking Lot's wife with her nosy ass, because I can tell that I'm the ancestor of her, because she turned her ass around and see what the fuck was going on and turned into a pillar of sofa. I said, oh Lord, I must be part of her ancestry, because I would have did the same thing. What the fuck going on back there? And don't listen to anything, but of course it takes a man to go and put you and turn you into a fucking pillar of salt. Or no, sulfur, that is. The real energy. Apples are hybrid. You could look at it as a fruit, or you could look at it as a vegetable. But it is an orchestrated energy. And some of you people are like, but in paintings, there were apples. But here, there were apples. You got to be careful of some of those paintings, because some of them are fake. Most of them are fake. And then they'll tell you that it's 13th century. So let's just accept that Mary Magdalene was a rich bitch. Let's give a shout out to Miriam. The real occultist, the real Moses. Let's give a shout out to Esther, Eastern Star. She make bank. Let's even give a shout out to Allah, which is Hala. Let's give a shout out to her, which some of you Islamic motherfuckers be like, that's not true. Farrakhan, Nation of Islam, blah 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 blah. This has gone down for many years. Elijah Muhammad, blah 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 blah. She don't know what the fuck she talking. Fuck that bitch. Three goddesses. Islam, the sorceress. Shout out. Under Timothy, we are not supposed again give acknowledgement to the dead, to our ancestors, but I'm going to give a shout out to mine on this Halloween day, aka Raven Day, aka the 3-day frequency coming up, the Day of the Dead. I'm going to give a shout out to my mom. I'm going to give a shout out to her because I underestimated her pimping. Through my mom, I learned how to do pet cemetery spells. Okay? Pet cemetery work. Through my mom, who went back to school when she was 42 years old, she said, and this was in the 80s, so I'm giving you the time. My mom said, Black people better get on board because computers are going to be the wave of the future. I'm going to go to school and get my bachelor's and PhD in computer engineering, and I'm going to work in the computer world. So Black people have to understand they're going to have to go to school to work in engineering and also computer science. In the 80s. What the fuck does she know? Because look at where we are today. God damn it. A shout out to my mom who peeped what the fuck I was doing. And until this day, I said, what does she know? I had a friend. Her name was Sonia. Sonia called me up. She said, come get my brothers. I want to go have sex with Dante. Her mother was at work. I said, okay, here I come. I go down the street. I pick up her brothers. I come back in the house. My mom looked. She said, look at here. You will not watch her brothers anymore while she have some boy at her house. She should not have any boys at her house while her mother is at work. She watches her brothers, and don't you do that again. I said, how did my mama know? She knew the whole story, I give a shout out to my aunt, motherfucking Julia, and I said it just like that, for teaching me about horoscopes. I give a shout out to my grandmother, who on her deathbed decided to have redemption. On her deathbed, she decided to apologize to me and say, I apologize for everything I put you through in your life. I am so sorry. And I said, Mama, it's okay. And she said, it was wrong of me to do. Then I thought about it. I said, that's fucked up. Why are you going to tell me on your deathbed that you apologize? So you fuck with me here, but then you fuck with me again? And then you leave this earth and then it's on my lap? But then I didn't get it till years later. That's still selfishness, even in death. To tell people on the deathbed to what's up. Do you become angry about it? Or what does it teach you? Because what it taught me, I'm going to live my motherfucking life. Because these people be out here doing all type of shit to you and it be your goddamn family. And then I realized what the issue was. She had an issue with my father. So because she had an issue with my father, she had an issue with me. So she made my life hell. I was wondering why my two brothers didn't go through it. I was wondering why my other cousin didn't go, why my cousin didn't go through it. It is all because she had an issue with me and she was on me. But I learned, like, okay, it's what it is. I'm to learn what that energy is. And I am to learn how people all the way up until their deaths are motherfuckers. But at the same time, I learned that if I have an issue, I'm just going to say what it is. If I need to make amends and I'm a motherfucker hard ass on my kids and I fucked them up, I'm going to talk to them while they're alive so they could get redemption. If it's revenge and I have the responsibility, stop playing. Thank your motherfucking ancestors who put you through shit and you made it through. If it's drugs, if it's prostitution you did, however hard road, fuck it, thank them. Because you're the motherfucker MVP. You made it through. No matter how hard, you still here. And you still have an opportunity and chance. You cannot pray for the dead. Pray for yourself. Period. Thank them. Thank them for making you strong. Thank them for giving you strength to be. We don't do that. You want to break generational curses? How about that part? My uncle, my daddy did this and they dead. Yes, they are. I made fucked up decisions based on what they did to me. We know. But you're here today. You work through it. You're getting there. Give yourself a fucking opportunity. On this Halloween day, I give a shout out to Mary Ellen Pleasant, the rich black woman. Look her up. And how San Francisco took from her. She was known as a spell worker on these men's, white men's. I give a shout out to Rachel Pringle. Was it Pilgrim? Who was a prostitute who had a hotel/brothel doing her thing, making her money. I give a shout out to Salem, Massachusetts. I give a shout out to Salem because Salem is really an indigenous tribe. The Salem witch energy, as they talk about, witches dying, were black indigenous women who taught them fucking white people how to do work, and then they killed them. But you know, but you want to know the ass kicker of it all? You know that story with, what's it called, Tituba, as they call it? Is her name Tituba? And she was one of the, in history, that they talk about her a lot. Where in the fuck did she go from being a black woman, even a black indigenous woman, into a hybrid Indian? So they then sat up, changed the whole story of Salem into hybrid Indians, when we all motherfucking know that the real energies in Massachusetts were black. And the women they murdered and burned were black. Tituba is black. She is not a hybrid Indian. And they need to stop fucking playing with us. Furthermore, why aren't they not telling us the truth? That Zulu, or the Zulu energy, and they tell us it's southeastern Africa. No, Zulus were in America. That whole Shaka Zulu story did not happen in Africa. It happened here in America. And I'm wondering why, and I've always wondered why, even when I seen Shaka Zulu, I always wondered, why did they say it happened in Africa when it happened here in the United States? I'm confused. Yo, Zulu Nation, whatever you want to call it, it was here. They were, we're going to say, your Aborigine, your indigenous people. They were black. They know. And the fight was the fact that they was trying to take them to Africa from the United States. What? Okay. They need to stop playing with us again about Harriet Tubman, because she did not exist. Why are they keep lying about this Marie Laveau? They know the truth. They done told 20,000 different stories of what this is. Okay? Why are they not telling us the truth that the Chinese, the Japanese, and these people that we call Indians were the real contraband, were the real people on the slave ships? Why are they not talking to us about that? Why are they not telling us about Chinese people being educated and getting educated in black colleges? Tuskegee, one of them. How come they're not telling us? How, they don't want to talk to us about their history, especially with Japan? When you go to Martinez, to that John Muir house, and you see the pictures of the Chinese people, and they darker than dark, we don't have questions? And you saying that's not freaky tales? You don't think it's freaky tales that on the simple fact that they had us, and I told you this before, that they're not telling us the first crackheads and dope fiends were white folks? From them pilgrims, them colonials, them Victorians, the Renaissance, all of them were on dope. Opiates, elixirs, poisons, liquid mercury, absinthe. They're not talking about to get rid of eczema. They had mercury in some of the medicines that fucked up people's teeth, especially as late as the 60s. Right? Drinking poisons. So then you're wondering the real story of why they had black nursemaids, because them white women were on dope. And the concoctions that they mixed for alcohol, they didn't have teeth, they looked dead, they were skinny, they were unhealthy. The Yankees, the Confederates, all of them were on dope. That's why I said, yeah, that slavery Holocaust was built on top of dope. That's why they told you the goddamn story of the supposed intoxicating the blankets, right? FreakyTales. Right? We have to know these things. We have to understand what is the real nature of Haiti. As pictures are coming up and now you're seeing indigenous people, I said, because the real is that voodoo was created by a man, but by a white man. We don't want to talk about that. Me and my spiritual constituents was chopping it up about that just yesterday. Haitians don't know what the fuck they are. We don't know what you are. Because the energies of the previous native tribe matches the native tribes that are in New Orleans or Louisiana. And we don't even know what that is because they tell you certain tribes, but there are quite a few native tribes in Louisiana and Texas. So when you look at the people of the real Haiti, it doesn't match with the current Haiti. And you can't say nothing about Haiti without somebody getting fucking offended. Fuck it. You offended. And what? We have fucking questions. We're trying to figure it out here. We want to keep talking about Haiti and Dominican Republic. No, what happened to the original people of Haiti? And who are these people? I don't want to hear about no French Revolution. I don't want to hear about this shit. I want to know what happened to the original people of Haiti. And what happened to the original works? The same thing with Jamaica. We were talking about the Rastafarians. We all know the whole Rastafarian thing is masculine because they stole it from the women. It's clear that the Rastafarian energy was a feminine energy. Then you got all these Bush motherfuckers coming in taking shit. It went from Bush to fucking a Christian. That tells you something right there. There's something wrong. Voodoo. It is VUDU. No, it's not. No, it's not. Stop playing. Sometimes you have to give white people back their shit. White people know what it is. You don't. You think you know. This been going down. She don't know what she talking about. That's what I'm talking about. You only know what the fuck they tell you it is. That's why y'all out here stupid. Practicing any fucking thing, huh? FreakyTales. I have a friend who has a Tesla. And he was telling me under the Tesla, and I don't know what you call it, the motherboard or whatever, he was saying how literally if you're driving down a highway, it picks up ghosts. And he was saying to me, that's how Teslas get into car accidents. Because people think there's something coming, or people think something ran past them and they think it's a human, but it's really ghosts, and Tesla picks it up. And I said, do you think it's the crystals that's picking up the entities and the orbs? And he said most of the time it's on freeways that you see something just run past, or something is running beside you. And he said literally the car will jolt and stop, thinking it's picking up a body. It's not a glitch. But I thought you guys said that spirits aren't real. I thought Timothy said it's not real. Then how in the hell is the Tesla picking it up and people getting into accidents because the Tesla is thinking that it's a human running past? And he said literally you could see something white. He said either it flies past or it just run past across the freeways. I have a spiritual constituent. I have to say this story. When you guys move in to new places, I don't care if it's apartment, check every nook and cranny, even the pipes. I have a spiritual constituent who had to change her pipes, and these people moved out, and when they were changing the pipes, it was a glob of hair in the pipes. And I said, ugh, what? And she was just like, it was nasty, right? I said, who washes their hair in a sink like that? She was like, and I said, are you, because the people who live there, the woman is Middle Eastern, but her husband is German. I said, She said, it was long strands of hair. I said, ooh. I said, and the spirit said to tell her, I said, send it to me so I can look at it. So I forgot that she sent it to me. So I received this envelope and I said, what's this? I opened it up. Remind you, I didn't read who it came from or whatever. I just opened it. And this, and I pulled it out and I was like, what the fuck is this? And this aroma came out that smelled like dog feces. And I said, oh my God. And I said, and I looked at the name and I realized it came from my spiritual constituents. I got that shit, I threw that shit outside. I said, oh my God, what the fuck? They doing some spell work. So then I have another spiritual constituent, and I call her Dr. Science, because I can't even, let me see here what she was telling me. I don't know if I don't even think I can pronounce this stuff. But you guys can, let me see. Damn. Because it was something, because I was telling her about it. And I was like, I said, damn, I said, it smelled like, feces and da-da-da-da-da, right? And she knew exactly what I was talking about. Let's see here. Yeah, okay. She called it Urally. Okay, it's spelled UrealYTICUM. That's the first word. Nitrogen. And she broke it down how it's connected, to diet, fatty diets, liver, kidneys, all of that. And she was saying basically the gene pool, people with stringy hair or others, mixed use, we'll say, mixed company, have this gene, and they have a certain fatty diet, which what she was explaining to me, but you guys can research it. Like I said, I call her Dr. Science. If you want to know who she is, she's really good at what she does with meal planning and everything else, breaking that shit down to the core. Hit me up, and then I'll forward you over to her so you can really give it, because she's also a doula. She does stretching, all that shit. And she broke this shit down to me that I don't know what the fuck she's talking about, that I know this is her spell work. This is her sorcery, but she was saying to me, this is why it happened. Because she said, and she was just explaining to me. So that's why she said mixed use, aka mixed company people, have to get in the shower. They can't be out here using loom because that's the way they smell. She's saying it's like as if the nitrogen or whatever let off gases. I said that was wicked. That's wicked. And I said, from a Middle Eastern woman? She said, yeah, them too. And if you want to know what she was breaking down to me, then let me know. Then I just transfer her because she was breaking that shit down. And I'm just saying what the words that she gave me. And I'm like, oh my God, that was spell work. You know, because I said it smelled like straight dog feces with human feces mixed in. And it was wet hair. Detox wherever you move, whatever you buy, check your shit. Because you don't know what the fuck motherfuckers are leaving. I was pulled down a rabbit hole. Someone forwarded me over what's it called, the Krishna's basically Hindu god. And she said to me, or the person said to me, and someone was, peep this. It pulled me down into a rabbit hole that I just started researching what is up with these Hindu gods. When you get down to the ground, all those Hindu gods are men, but they're not masculine, but they're men. Where we're seeing feminine, and they're black. They're black. So what in the hybrid are these new Hindu energies that are white or whatever that is and feminine? Because when you look at the original ones, they're black and they're connected to black people. And the black energy led the lower people. And the lower people were the lighter people. What the fuck? Just like in Indonesia, I fell in a rabbit hole when I call them bush people. That they're harassing the bush people because they don't want the bush people to practice their spell work, whatever they do, or culture anymore. So they're over there harassing them and kidnapping them. And they said doing weird shit to them, the darker Indonesians, the black ones. What the fuck? The same thing they did in Brazil. I said, what in the hell is going on with these rabbit holes? And when you fall in them, you finding out the real nature of everything is fucking melanated black people. So then what the fuck are black people practicing if you're not practicing the original black, we're going to say Hinduism? What are you practicing? Did y'all hear about the thing going around? You know that Shenyun, that SHENYUN, you know those flyers you get and you see the Chinese lady in the air? And it's a Chinese dance group. Did you hear about that was a fucking cult that abuses you, rape you, or sexually assault you and do more? You know what I'm talking about. And the girl talking about that she was abused all through the cult. She said it's a cult. It's not a dance group. I said, what? I said, those flyers of them jumping in the air? Whoa. Who would have known all that was going on with that shit? It's called Shenyun. And it'll say China before communism. Again, it's spelled SHENYUN. Just look it up. Okay? Chinese people are coming out talking about the stuff. So we was looking at Tyler the Creator. What's it called? Chromopia? He's a great marketing concept, in it, isn't he? He's a whole Simon. That's all he is. He's a Simon. And what I really found very interesting of how he used sampled tracks from different African energies, right? And I was listening to a person talk about Tyler the Creator. And I said, what the fuck are they talking about? Because then you find out, because he has that mask on, which, you know, he ended up becoming the tribal people, which is, we're going to say Congo people, just to keep it simple, with the hair, you know, with how the hair and how it looks very galactic, but kind of, I call it the jackal hairstyles or galactic hairstyles, right? Or how it looks, how we'll call it, right? And I said, that's very tribal. But when you hear white people explain it, they explain it very interesting. I said, why aren't they not talking about where his whole energy is coming from? Even his dance, his look, his frequency, okay? The samples. I told you guys this energy is going to restructure and change where now we call kind of hip hop where it's going, okay? Because all they're doing is tapping into another frequency now. So I said, oh, he just being Simon. And it came out, and the person was talking about they were tripping because it wasn't the regular type of release in the 12 a.m. and da-da-da. So I said, okay, so now they don't mess with the old way now. They're doing new shit, and they putting shit out on a Monday, which is still the energies of Satan or dark energies, right? The other thing with FreakyTales is that we've been noticing Nene Leakes, and I'm wondering, is that Nene Leakes? Is that a whole dude? It made me go back and reevaluate Exodus again and Moses. And I was like, are people going to peep that in Exodus that Egyptian queen was a man? And that's why she adopted Moses? And I told you, if you really look at the pharaohs were women and the queens were men. It was reversing. That's why I said it's like that was your first energy of trans operations and so on, right? And it made me think about Laverne Cox and that Tyler. I said, Tyler and Laverne got the same body energy going on, huh? So does Nene Leakes. So they gonna keep on keeping on with this bullshit with us, huh? Okay. Because I was even looking at Megan Good, because people been talking about Megan Good too. With that FreakyTales that she pulling, they're saying she's interesting, right? We just talking, we having conversation. Okay. In addition, you having a new frequency that you're having black psychologists coming along and talking about how black men are being taken advantage of due to their mental capacity, because now black men have intellectual disabilities now. As black women, we have autism, okay? And so they're trying to say that they're being taken advantage of, putting in prisons, signing up, they're signing up on these record labels. They saying the world is just taking advantage of these intellectual disability men who can't think for themselves. So they're talking about people like, Lil Woody, who is coerced into committing crimes. They're talking about Orlando Brown. They're talking about Designer, who's hypersexual. They're talking about Lil Durk, who looked, interesting, Bobby Smurda and Smurda, and they're talking about, Lil Nas X. They're talking about even Offset. So now they're giving reasons. So I said, okay, so in this world now we have special need black men, special need black women. We just all fucked up. We just all special. So now we have these psychologists giving reasons. They're being taken advantage of. So now y'all just gonna get put in a home too with black women. They're gonna put you in a home too and say you special and basically collect a check. That's all that is. What type of spell work is that? But nobody want to talk about the drugs, the alcohol, the different social issues that was going on. We don't even have social studies anymore in school. These are economic social issues when you have shit like that. And instead of getting on social media making excuses to what we call hypersexual people, people who are retarded, people on the verge of retardation, people on fucking, what they say, intellectual disabilities, why don't you work behind closed doors and see what the fuck is really going on and look at the system that put them there, these group homes? Let's really investigate and really get your PhDs going and investigate men and women who are on drugs, because people automatically look at the woman, if she's on drugs, then their kids are fucked up. But people are not tripping that a woman don't have to be on drugs, but date a guy on drugs and them kids are off the fucking hinges. Please, I've seen it. I've seen more women who are not on drugs, who have kids by men, and the men and the child has ADHD or different social issues and cutting up. Let's really investigate. But we're not talking about that. We want to talk this simpleton shit. Lesbians, women are tired of you dykes and bulldaggers. And studs, you about to be on your way to the way y'all cut up. They tired of you pushing up. They tired of y'all sexual frequency. They're tired of your sexual assault. They're tired of you hoorotting them. They're tired of you threatening their lives. They're tired of you harming their children. Because the dykes and bulldaggers are the fucking gatekeepers. And they're rough, rude, and disrespectful. That's spell work right there. They tired of y'all. Y'all under the book of Timothy. Stop acting like y'all, you still women. That's that energy like with Dorothy Dandridge, what she was going through with her mother's girlfriend. Did y'all see them statues with Dwayne Wade? Who was that? Did y'all see that statue? Did y'all see the one with Allen Iverson and he looked like a midget? Did y'all see that one? What's his name? Daniel, whoever, the African guy. Did you see how they had him falling? Did y'all see that one? What statement are they making with these statues? Because statues are energy as well as murals. Well, statues are energies also. Did y'all hear that shit that happened over there with that Queen Mary? Now, you know Queen Mary black, right? But did y'all hear about that shit that happened in Long Beach? People got on a bus to go to the Queen Mary, to the Dark Harbor energy that's happening. And they got on the bus and allegedly the bus driver was crazy and kept going and people jumping out the window and shit allegedly. Did y'all hear about that? Is that a real story? Because I said, what the fuck? And somebody recorded and people hooping and hollering and yelling because and then they was trying to make him stop, the bus driver, but he wouldn't stop. Did you hear that shit with Krishan accusing her sister of molesting her? Do you know that happens a lot? But my question is this: is this the real Krishan? Because I'm still trying to figure out who is the young lady that looked normal compared to this one. And why would Krishan reveal that type of energy? Shouldn't she be in some kind of care? I thought she was getting spiritual help. If she's getting spiritual help, why is she in air discussing her being sexually assaulted by her sister? Isn't that the whole reason of her going to church? Okay. Are we going to address Tamala Mann, how her record album is an energy of Yemaya? Are we going to address Latrice Pace, how it appears that she's the daughter of Oshun, but y'all supposed to be Christians? Okay. Is it Dorena's Pace? How come we didn't discuss the fact that she got poisoned, and she got poisoned in New York and the cook did it? How did we just let that fly? We didn't have any questions that she was fucking poisoned. So who was trying to kill her? Because she's dead now. So who did it? Because it messed up her organs. We don't have questions? Because I have questions on Halloween. Zachary Timms. You remember, because Paula White took over his church. They found him dead. And then tried to say he had cocaine up in his pocket. And then the police said no foul play, but there's suspicion. We don't have questions here? Okay. We don't have questions for Benny Hinn. How come we didn't understand that he did necromancy and he did cemetery work? Meaning before he became Benny Hinn, he went in a cemetery, did some work. How come we didn't ask questions? But in Timothy, it says for us not to do that, right? But they can. What the fuck is going on with Gullah Gullah? Didn't that come out in the 90s? I thought the boy from Gullah Gullah is dead. What's going on here? And what is this energy that has uprooted with what is this? Some kind of fashion awards, the CFDA awards, saying that Erykah Badu is a fashion icon. Because just thinking about it, they just letting these black people do any fucking thing, huh? Just like white people are angry with the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, how certain black people shouldn't have been, I guess inducted, we'll say, into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. So what's happening? Are these people just getting paid, or what kind of spell work? But I have a question. JT was there and she was looking real plain. And I was looking very closely at her. I said, why would she be there without makeup and dress? And what was she doing there? Then I was looking at her closely. I said, how come she looked like Scarlett? I said, is this Scarlett? Because that's how Scarlett looks. She don't wear, who is this? JT from the City Girls. Is Young Miami Saucy Santana? How come everybody looking alike? Right? Anyway, this is just some freaky tales for Halloween, and I have some freaky tale questions. Anyway, this is Weird Renegade Witches Blog. Hit us up when you want some real motherfucking work done.